Now, 6 of Combs' adult children, along with his mother, Janice Combs, made a strong show of support for the disgraced hip-hop mogul, whose very freedom is on the line. His defense team was at full strength, focused on a final strategy that tried to cast the RICO sex trafficking and prostitution charges in a far less sinister light. Lead defense attorney Mark Agnifilo admitted right off the bat that Combs beat and abused Cassie Ventura, but called her a gangster who played him. He walked around in front of the jury like he was in a TV courtroom drama, arms outstretched with a spin for everything, claiming no one was trafficked and the women in Combs' life benefited from their association with him financially. There was no racketeering drug dealing, according to Diddy's defense attorney. There was no conspiracy, just drug purchases for personal use. He said there was no force or coercion and that videos of freak-offs were not made for extortion purposes as prosecutors claimed, adding that Combs is not the only man in America to make homemade porn. Now, the prosecution rebuttal, they said, here we go again. This is excuse after excuse for Diddy's behavior, and that they will prove, and they want the jury to agree with them on this, that he has been committing crimes for 20 years and that now the time is over. So we're joined right now by criminal defense attorney Deanna Paul. She's also a former prosecutor. When you hear this kind of name calling that's been going on, too, criminal mastermind on one hand and just guy, you know, your average neighbor next door on the other, what do you think about this?
It's exactly what Mark Agnifilo had to do. The jury heard the government yesterday talk about this leader of a criminal enterprise. Today, AUSA Comey actually called Diddy God. He's not God. You should find him guilty. Mark Agnifilo said, you know, this is a tale of two stories. You have what the government says to you, and then you have what the text messages say. And they tell two different things. And he did, you know, what defense attorneys sometimes have to do. You admit what you can't deny, and you deny what you can't admit. There was domestic violence. There was drug abuse, but it was recreational. There were all of these things, but what there wasn't was sex trafficking, and what there wasn't was racketeering, and that's what the government had to prove. And
then how important are the closing statements from both sides on the jury as they're going in now? They'll have a weekend and then come back to the deliberations on Monday.
So I think that's why the judge is waiting until Monday to charge them on the law. But closing arguments are really important, particularly with a trial like this that's 7-8 weeks, where they've heard so many different pieces of the testimony that weren't necessarily all consecutive.
Right.
And this is the moment where the government gets to put together the whole story and where the defense gets to
weave their tale and their narrative. We're out of time right now, but Deanna Paul, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. Guys, that's the latest here from federal court.